The very controversial Nick Kyrgios might have a lot of haters out there, but Bianca Andreescu sure isn't one of them. What does that mean? Let's find out. Anyone who has kept up with tennis knows that the Kyrgios and Andreescu partnership is all that sports enthusiasts are talking about. The two played mixed doubles at the World Tennis League in Dubai.
15-14.
And let's just say that Andreescu was pleasantly surprised with the experience. The 2019 US Open champion thought she and Kyrgios had perfect chemistry right from the start. And don't worry, this chemistry isn't anything Costine Hotze needs to worry about. Why? Because Bianca was only talking about how well the two players complemented each other's game. Not just that, but Bianca also talked about how she's actually learning so much from Nick. According to the 2019 US champion, Kyrgios' serve and volleys are kind of rubbing off on her. And well, that has us pretty excited for the future of this extremely talented duo.
Honestly, I just thought that the chemistry was great right from the start. We played very well. I think we both have great hands. I think he's rubbing off on me a little bit on the serve and on the volleys.
Enough of that though. Let's talk about how they actually performed as a doubles team. In their first match as doubles partners at the 2022 World Tennis League in Dubai, Kyrgios and Andreescu performed surprisingly well against Holger Rune and Eugenie Bouchard. Why did we say that? Well, it was because neither of the two players is exactly known for playing mixed doubles. So this was a first for everyone involved. The fans and the athletes. But of course, being the 2022 Australian Open doubles champion gives Nick a competitive edge like no other. And well, Kyrgios was undoubtedly the best player on the court. But that's not all. Andreescu's performance was just as top tier as his, if not more.
Can you believe it? Bianca Andreescu is a US Open champion.
And Bianca, congratulations on your first Grand Slam title. I know this won't be your last, and we're looking forward to seeing you for many years to come.
Truly blessed. I've worked really, really hard for this moment. I'm really proud with how I dealt with everything. Yeah, the last game wasn't easy. She started serving way, way better too. Balls were going all over the place, so...
The two players moved in perfect sync with one another. In fact, they almost made us all forget that this was their first time playing mixed doubles with each other. In the first set, Kyrgios and Andreescu, playing as part of the Eagles, had to face the first three break points. But it comes as no surprise that the duo was able to succeed on all three counts, winning the first set with a score of 6-2. But that's not where it ends though. The second set was much more cutthroat, but the Eagles didn't give their opponents a single chance to break them. They won the second set 6-3, setting a pretty great precedent for their own selves. And if you thought all of this was cool, wait till you hear what Kyrgios has to say about it. Kyrgios and Andreescu proved to be a duo like no other. Team Eagles entered the tournament with Nick Kyrgios, Bianca Andreescu, Caroline Garcia, Andreas Seppi, and double specialist Rohan Bopanna. But what's surprising is, Kyrgios and Andreescu proved to be the winning pair for the team. And according to Kyrgios, it's because the two of them really enjoyed playing with each other. What most people might not know is, Kyrgios really likes team events, even if he does have the reputation of not getting along with quite a lot of people. The truth is that when he's on the court, Kyrgios keeps it professional like no other. As far as the World Tennis League goes, the Australian Open doubles champion talked about how it was a brand new experience for us. But that didn't hold Nick back. He took this as a great opportunity to learn from and work alongside tennis superstars like Bopanna and Andreescu, and that's something he's super grateful for. However, Nick did have a confession to make. For a player as successful as Kyrgios, you would imagine that nothing phases him. But even the best of us have our moments, and Kyrgios had his moment of nervousness ahead of his first match at a brand new event. Of course, if he knew just how well he would play, we'd think that might have helped calm his nerves. The one thing that helped Kyrgios work through his fears was his doubles partner. Of course, no one doubted Kyrgios' ability to win a doubles match, especially since he holds the 2020 Australian Open men's doubles title. But the player had something else to say. Kyrgios claimed that his mixed doubles record was diabolical to say the least, and that's what terrified him. Obviously nervous, New Event wanted to come out and start off the Eagles with a win, but the athlete didn't forget how the crucial role that his partner played in helping him win. He echoed Bianca's statements, saying that he had great chemistry with the tennis star, and we have to agree.
I served well. Bianca put away some really good volleys, so hopefully I think most of the mixed doubles from now on, but I wanted to get a match out here, get used to the court, so it was perfect.
With that said, there is one place where Kyrgios doesn't feel nervous competing at all. Can you believe it? Kyrgios hasn't played in Australia since last year's US Open, and we all know how incredible his performance proved to be back then. So it comes as no surprise. The tennis champ was hoping to do it all over this year. For a major part of the year, Kyrgios is setting off from one country to the other, playing events and making appearances. At this point, he feels like he is only back home for the summer, but that's more than enough for him. This year, Kyrgios was set to participate in his first event in Australia since he took out the doubles title with Thanasi Kokkinakis at the Australian Open back in January 2022. After sitting out the Davis Cup for the past 3 years, Kyrgios was all ready to come back to face pressure as the home favorite at the Australian Open this year. That's not all, though. The fans were also excited for the possibility of Kyrgios getting to reunite with his former flame and Aussie women's #1, Ajla Tomljanovic, in the pool matches against Great Britain and Spain. Kyrgios himself talked about how he likes nothing better than to play in the Australian summer since it's his favorite time of the year. Just playing in Australia is special. The tour is a long grind and it's rarely in Australia, so I'm definitely not going to take it for granted, claimed the excited player. Sadly though, things didn't quite turn out as planned. After months and months of anticipation about Kyrgios finally getting to play the Grand Slam at home, it's pretty devastating that it's not going to be happening at all. That's right, just a day before he was scheduled to play his first round singles match, Kyrgios had to withdraw from the tournament. Why? Well, remember that knee injury he had?
Obviously pretty brutal. In one of the most important tournaments of my career, and so it hasn't been easy at all.
Turns out, he's going to need surgery for it, and that means the 27-year-old player can't be a part of the 2022 Australian Open. And the worst part is, Kyrgios was actually the top contender for the title since he belonged to the host country and knew the playing field like no other. To put it into context, no man from Australia has won the singles trophy in the country since 1976.
City Open men's singles champion, Nick Kyrgios.
First of all, I just want to say congrats to Neil. You know, he's younger than me, and the career he's going to take part on is going to be pretty special. I want to thank all the volunteers, you know, for the tournament, the ball kids. You guys are amazing. I know I give you grief a little bit, but you know I love you. Remember some people to thank. Give me a sec. Can't forget. Thanks, guys. I'll be back next year. So.
And it looks like Nick won't be the man to break that record. The athlete went on the record to tell the world that he was devastated and exhausted, and we get it. Having to withdraw from what was supposed to be one of the most important tournaments of his career obviously couldn't have been an easy decision, but his injury is no laughing matter. According to Kyrgios' trainer, the condition isn't a threat to his career, and the surgery is pretty minor. The player does need some time off to recover and get back into shape though, which means he might not be back on the courts until March. But at least that means we'll get to see him perform at the hardcourt tournament at Indian Wells. On that note, what do you think the future holds for Nick Kyrgios? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. We'll be back with more amazing videos soon. See you in the next one.